Good evening and welcome to the Invictus Racing League Season 21. We are here for the third round of the season at the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix here at the circuit of Imola. And it's a historic circuit to host round number 3. Old school circuit, so mistakes will be punished. And one that generally drivers love driving. It's not an easy one to overtake on, but it always brings good action with it. My name is JPH, and joining me, as always, in the commentary box for Tier 1 so far this season is Mikey RK13. Good evening, Mikey. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad, mate. Not too bad. Obviously, like you said, Imola, quite a historic track. If I remember correctly, one of your favourites as well, if I believe so.
Yep, definitely a
Um,
favourite for driving. I'll give it that. Yep. Never had the best luck around here though in F1, weirdly enough. But love driving it. Hello to ARL who's just joined the chat. But yeah, I mean, it's an old school circuit, is Imola, and that's why I love it so much, because you don't have the runoff, only really at Piratella. Yeah, there's no real runoff. It's just straightforward. If you make a mistake, you're on the grass and you're losing a lot of time, so you have to be inch perfect with every lap.
Indeed, mate. To be honest, it's Imola for me. It's not really something I'm able to. I don't know. I can do like a sector or best two. It's just always that or one of the sectors. I just can't get it right every time. So it's a bit of a hit and miss one for me, but that's tomorrow's problem. Yeah, but then obviously just waiting for one driver and then we'll crack on. But obviously, with it being sprint weekend or sprint night, shall we say, um, unlike our conventional 17 to 18 minutes qualifying, it'll be one shot. Then obviously, as you can see, 11 laps for our sprint. Then more of like a 5 minute break, give the drivers time to get a drink or anything else, and then yeah, crack on. Hopefully, should go into another one shot quali, and then the full 32 laps round in line. So total of 43 laps this evening. We are hoping to complete. So
Yeah, it's going to be good. I mean, in terms of like a break in between, I don't quite know how it all works, whether you can actually have a break or not, whether go straight into the next one-shot qualifying, because obviously for anyone who readies up, it sort of immediately starts the countdown, so we'll see how that one goes. I think Kent's just arrived. Whilst everyone is loading up and prepares then for the first one-shot qualifying, looking at the driver standings, we have Merckx, who now comes into this evening leading the way on 33 points. He is not here tonight though, so he is not scoring. Sydney is on 31 points, Ashtube 18, so a little bit of a gap between second and third and fourth. Ashtube not here tonight either. Yellow Eason has 16, ARL has 14, Stinos 10, Bjorn de Boer has 10, along with Kent, so three-way tie on 10 points. Ruddo has 9 with Owen on 8, Ivan on 6, Sunboy has 5, Milo de Boer on 4, joint with Nathan, Nitrogash on 2, and then Ginger Tiger, Typhoon, Paul Racetech, Gattuso, Shortbread, all not scoring so far. Shortbread doing his first race tonight. In terms of constructors, Williams lead the way on 33. Racing Bulls have 32, so a close fight there. And again, with only one driver from each team in turning up tonight, that'll keep it nice and close. Haas have 31 points. They've got a chance to jump the field. Mercedes has 21 with Ferrari on 17, Sauber 16, Alpine 14, Red Bull 10, Aston Martin 4, and McLaren have 2. So very tight battles early on, and it
interesting.
is intermediate weather, I'm going to suggest that is, for the first one-shot qualifying of the evening here at Imola. And this, I think it's about 4.9 kilometre circuit, 18 corners, just got a little bit more tricky. And we're starting in 10, so
Indeed.
someone's already readied up, I think, there.
Oh God, who's done that? Oh no, I think that's when it load. It's obviously it's loading in.
Is that loading in or is that starting?
Yeah, because
We'll find out.
it's well, I hope not, because
No, looks like we're okay. I promise you, you're never quite
oh,
sure because back a few generations of games, you used to get like the list of drivers who were ready on the commentary screens. You don't get that anymore, so you're never really quite sure what's going on in the commentary box.
yeah, it is. It's not great, but we'll crack on with what we've got and just go from there. So, oh, I think someone's pressed ready off. Let's just double check.
Someone's taking the good luck everyone as a bit of a we're ready to go.
Yeah. I'll give the go ahead. Should we?
So here we go. I'm on board with Ivan Belov. We're gonna take you on a lap here of Emilia. So coming up to the start finish line, across the line, you're gonna turn number 1, just this little kink right, almost nothing of a bend, and it makes it even worse. This bend, this left-hander, not even a turn into the Tamburello chicane, braking at 100 meters even in the wet. Just clipping the curves as much as you can. It's a bit wide from Ivan, almost goes wide as he comes out of the Tamburello chicane down towards the Villeneuve chicane. Flick it left, keep it just downshifting all the way almost in the dry because you're hammering the brakes but not in the wet. Tosa, awkward hairpin because it is slightly off camera because it rides up the hill afterwards. Trying to lay the power down in these conditions is not easy. You flick it right over the hill as you come up towards Piratella and just want to dance the car into here. Don't run too wide. In fact, they've updated the model of the circuit. It's got gravel on the outside now. Acamina Rally, amazing in the dry, horrible in the wet, trying to get your braking as you flick it right into the 90. Back up the hill, trying to get the traction down once again as you come into Variante Alta. Again, using all the curb you can get away with that the car will just take. Using curb on the exit, and then going to head down the hill towards the infamous Ravazzas. Keep it to the right after you flick it right. Hit the brakes in a straight line. Off camera left-hander for Ravazza 1. It then flattens out for Ravazza 2. And again, you just want to tap the brakes, get it turning, and just let it roll almost through. Shortbread looks like he's going to take pole position here. Yes, he does. And it's going to be Ivan Belov in 10th place with our camera car. Obviously with one-shot qualifying. No point skipping between people because it just blanks your screen. So you get a nice ride along with the driver. This time it was Ivan. But Shortbread takes pole position by just 0.25 of a second.
No, it's quite an interesting lap from Ivan, that, to be fair. Ken's unfortunately disqualified from our session. To be fair, with it being our first wet race, it'll actually be able to give us a sort of an idea of what it's like. Because obviously so far we've had dry races off in both Mexico and Jeddah, so I think it would literally be our sprint weekend where this happens. So
in terms of the grid, though, the grid for your sprint race is Shortbread and Sydney on row 1. Row 2 has Beyond a Boa and ARL. Row 3, Stinos and Yella. Row 4, Sunboy and Ruddo. Row 5, Owen and Ivan. Row 6, Nathan Milo. Row 7, Matty and Paul. Row 6, Ginger and Typhoon. And row 9, Nitro and Kent, who was unable to get a time. And that was about the quickest grid order you'll ever hear.
Oh, and it seems to be dry, a slight bit of overcast. Don't want to say I'm much of a weatherman, but from what we can see,
definitely overcast, that's for certain. ARL hoping that last week is a one-off stump, and he's not going to happen again this week. Every point counts, so he's got to get back locked in. Keza, good evening, mate. Hope you are well. We are well for certain. We're about to go racing for the 3rd time this season. And it is sprint night, so it causes even more chaos, which I mean the stewards probably won't like, but unfortunately Kent's left, I think he's having computer issues at the moment. I mean, he probably won't take part in the rest of the session potentially. But yeah, we're about going to go racing shortly for this sprint race. Yeah, as I say, stewards probably don't enjoy it because it causes more chaos, but from a spectator point of view, it makes it a lot more interesting.
Indeed. Obviously, let's have a quick. Just to be on the safe side, I'll just send them an invite in case we've lost them. Doubt it, but better safe than sorry.
Kez saying he loves the sprint races, the best weeks to race apparently. And they are very, very sort of interesting. Sprint races, because obviously the tyre allocation is very different. In terms of that, you do actually, I think, lose tyres a little bit. Apparently, Kaz is saying he's possibly probably going to be joining back in IRL next season, which would be good to see. It'd be good to have Keza back in. Good racer.
Definitely.
Is Keza had some good pace. A bit unlucky at times, but it was always a good battle whenever you got into it with him.
Right, we have given the green light, so we should be starting shortly.
I think that's Jack watching on the Invictus Racing League account, because he's either that or possibly you, Mikey. I don't know which one, but
Nope.
no, that'd be Jack, I think. Hello, Jack, if that's you.
Access.
I believe that's Jack, so hello, Jack. I hope you're well. So it'd be good to have Keza back in the league. But we're going to have the formation lap for the sprint race. I'm also just going to adjust a little bit of balance. Not too much though. So let's have a look. Detail for tyres. Everyone on mediums except for Nathan, Poor Race Tech, Ginger Tiger, Nitrogas. They've all gone for the hard compound of tyre. Now again, I haven't driven much of this game, but I'm going to suggest that's because there is a lot more tyre wear around this circuit. It does tend to eat tyres from my memory of older games.
It wasn't the best from memory, but yeah, I never really had a good race here, so yeah. But no, obviously it should be quite interesting to see obviously the mediums stack up. Obviously it might give a few of the drivers some sort of idea, you know, how long the tyres can last. Obviously it's different, obviously intervals. Oh, Kent's back in, that's good. At least we've got a full 18 drivers. The game obviously advises two different strategies. Surprisingly, first one saying reckons these mediums will go all the way to the end. It's a new one to me.
I mean, it is a sprint race. You are meant to be able to do this on a set of tyres.
Well, true.
Because it is only a third race distance of the main race. Obviously, in real life, the main race is around 300 kilometres, a sprint race around 100 kilometres. For anyone who isn't quite familiar with the sprint format. So we're all going to line up onto the grid then. We're just trying to get the last minute's tyre temperature, and it is going to be Shortbread on the pole position. Sydney alongside. Shortbread's first race this season in Tier 1. He's already proving himself to be very, very good. Aero gets his parking in all sorts of wrong. So he'll have a slight disadvantage in the grid box when that game resets him. Obviously for Kent, his car's going to be ghosted until he's back in it, which he won't be able to do until after the start of the race. But here we go then. For the first time this season, it is sprint night. It's here at Emilia, and we're going to have the 5 red lights, and we are racing to the sprint for Emilia. It's going to be Shortbread who gets a very good start, and Beyond a Boa is immediately past Sydney as we come down towards turn number 1 at the Tamburello chicane. Kenneth's unfortunately left again, but we won't focus too much on that. Beyond a Boa looking for the lead, but he can't quite find it. Got I think Yellow Geeson in the gravel trap going through Tamburello, but other than that, we look to have got through unscathed. Milo and I think that's Nathan was going side by side. Nathan and Paul. There's an Alpine of Milo as someone else, I think. Running outside of Nathan at Tosa is all going on at the moment near the back of the field. Looks like I think that was Yellow Geeson having a little look at Owen, but not quite finding any space to work with. As we head up through Peratella for the first time, it is Shortbread who leads from Beyond a Boa in second, Sydney in third, and Stinos in fourth. Good stuff from the Red Bull man. ARL is in fifth. I think that was a bit of a slide as well coming out of Aqua Minerale. Luckily, not going to be under threat into the Variante Alta through the Variante Alta for the first time. And again, all nice clean. We're kind of all in situ at the moment. Just single line as we head down to Ravazza for the first time to finish this lap. One lap is going to be down, just 10 more to go.
No, indeed, quite an interesting start from the whole grid here. Obviously, with us losing Kent, obviously throwing an invite to see if he can get back in, hopefully. But no, obviously quite clean from what I could see from the back so far. But no, obviously, hopefully, touch wood, as they say. There's no major incidents. Oh, apparently Kent has got the fastest lap with a 5 second. Lovely.
That's an incredible time. Welcome back to the future.
Marty McFly, take your hat off.
Meanwhile, everyone's going to have... We have a 17-car DRS train right now, because DRS is now active back down the main straight. See, only just the one DRS zone on this circuit, one of the rare circuits to only have the one. But right now, everyone's going to get the advantage. ARL needs to make sure he stays within Stinos here. Looks like he might have just blasted a little bit of ERS there to get back inside. Because the last thing you need around here is to lose that DRS advantage. You will very quickly fall behind and start becoming prey to those behind you.
Obviously, what you're saying about ARL there, obviously you've got some boy there just trying to keep up as much as he can. Obviously he's got Ruddo and Owen behind him.
Meanwhile, at the front, it is Beyond a Boa going to the front with DRS past Shortbread. A pretty easy move for the Alpine, but now he's going to have to suffer the same fate potentially on the next lap when he comes to lead the field.
Oh! Owen's gone. It's just a bit of a oversteer from what we could see there going into turn 3.
Oh, that's an interesting rejoin. I don't think he was fully in control of that Ferrari. You could see the back end trying to spit him off as he was trying to... He was actually trying to do it very safely by going down the right-hand side tarmac road. And the car said, nope, I've got so much gravel on my tyres, you can exit stage left back towards the circuit.
To be fair, it was very close for Ruddo. You know, that was obviously something that Tifosi would not have liked to have seen after completing 2 laps around here. So obviously that's quite lucky for the pair. But no, it's obviously started to open up a bit now, through the field now. So
Yellow Geeson on the back of Ruddo, and it must be stated, obviously sprint points, the top 6 score points here in the sprint. You score 6 for the win, all the way down to 1, and if I remember correctly, there is no fastest lap point available, if I remember correctly. I'm not sure.
Not, no.
And I think that's Owen has spun at Ravazza 2. Yes, he has.
Oh, contact! I'm not sure what happened there between Yellow Geeson and Ruddo. Obviously, I was just might have been someone else. To apologise. But yeah, it's just not really sure what happened there.
So I'm not sure what's gone on. Owen's picked up a 10-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. I don't think he'll matter too much about that. Whether he'll continue in this race, I don't know. He may well pit. But, yeah. Unfortunately for Ruddo, he's now down the back of the field. On the only positive side around this right now is that obviously the way sprints used to work on here was that this race would then decide the grid for the next race for the feature, but it no longer does that. So It's a small window of light really for Ruddo in that circumstance, but not a very high one because he was running in a position to potentially take points.
Obviously, imagine that might be with the stewards later this evening, or obviously when our stewards office opens tomorrow. But yeah, that's obviously for something to deal with after the race. He's just going to put his foot down.
Sydney gets past Shortbread with DRS, so Shortbread's starting to fall down the field. He was on pole position, but he's now down to third. And Stinos looking to the inside, but not quite finding anything. Meanwhile, I think Sunboy's off, isn't he?
So, yeah, it might have been a slight contact or a bit of a squeeze from Ivan there, going into turn 4, I believe.
And just like Owen, he's struggling to get that car back onto the circuit.
Yeah, it's a bit messy, to be fair, in these first few laps. Obviously, thankfully, no one's retired as of yet, but getting a bit interesting to say the least.
Shortbread on the back of Sydney. Beyond a Boer has upped and gone. He's 2 seconds clear right now. But Shortbread in that Williams car, looking to help Merckx keep that lead for the Williams team.
Obviously, Jelgeisen just south 3/10 here of IRL. I believe probably going to go for it here. 3-second penalty for Nathan. Might not be for obviously warnings. Is he going to do the move going into turn 3? No. He's going to just
pass turn 2.
I'm sorry, my fault.
Yeah, the left-handed. Weirdly enough, the right counts, the left doesn't. Yep. Make that one work. Turn 2 is the start of the Tamburello chicane. Meanwhile, as I go through Villeneuve, ARL under all sorts of pressure from the Mercedes of Jelgeisen.
It's very close racing from both drivers here. But yeah, he's just got to see what he can do, to be honest. Well, let's try and make that car as wide as possible for these next few turns. Just slow him down. Hopefully, see if Ivan will come and help him. You don't want to give too much time away at the same time in case it goes wrong. So.
You be a little bit careful how much you back people up, because the problem is that you could just get freight train down the main straight. Although that middle sector, you're pretty much never really going to see much in the way of overtaking, especially not through Acca Minerale. Not unless you're already side by side on the entry, and you've got to be wheels level through there to even consider it. But through the second Ravazza...
Oh, yeah, he's over for 3 seconds.
Just running a bit wide through Ravazza for Yellen. Sydney not going to make an overtake, but Jelgeisen is down the inside. IRL trying to keep it around the outside, can't quite do it, the back end slides. Unfortunately, just not quite being able to get the back end to behave enough to keep around the outside, and IRL drops to 6th, but that is still in the points for the sprint race so far. And not anymore. Spins it at the Villeneuve chicane. Just lost the rear over the curb, I think, and
he just caught it as it, and then obviously just
So he's trying to make sure he gives space to everyone around him as he gets back up to speed. And you can see, the one thing you can see with this game is how much dirty tyres affect your grip. We have some
as well.
boy is going around also at the Villeneuve chicane, so he's a very tricky corner, easy to spin out on.
Obviously, it's also come up with Paul Fortune's obviously got a 3-second penalty as well. So
that's really not helpful for them. They've started on the hards on the basis that they're going to get better grip, better pace at the end of this race, and that's kind of ruined their sort of plan.
Yeah,
they definitely look a bit quicker than what Ivan is right now, but they're going to have to get past and pull 3 seconds away, and that's going to be the harder part.
The thing is, obviously, Ivan, where he is, he's been able to keep with Milo, obviously, in that DRS tree. That's literally the only thing that's keeping him going right now, from what we can see.
I think Owen's just passed Kentbot. Ruddo gets past Ginger Tiger into Tamburello. Ruddo up to 12th, and his next person is 3.6 seconds away in DXT Matty. Meanwhile, at the front, it is Bjorn de Boer who still leads from Shortbread. Shortbread holding off Sydney at the moment, with Stinos just behind. Stinos maybe just biding his time, trying to save the tyres a little bit, have some grip later on. As they arrive at Varianta Alta, this is going to be the most interesting battle as the laps count down. We have 3 more laps to run here at Imola for the sprint race. And that's a McLaren of Ginger Tiger, probably going wide at Piratella. Just before they head down the hill towards Acca Minerale.
Yeah, it's fine. Obviously, everyone's quite spaced out now, so obviously our closest battle is Stenos at the moment. Always going for the move in the main straight.
That is close. Very, very close, and they're going to get boxed in. Oh, he thinks about a move on Shortbread, but thinks better, probably the better idea. But that was close as Typhoon's gone round at the exit. Ravazza 2 puts Rodo and Co up another position there. Ivan Belov has got past Milo de Boer, and here comes Paul Racetech to the inside of the left King of Villeneuve. That's a brave move. It's a great move until he's lost the rear end. Milo then takes that back. Nathan takes advantage round the outside. It was a great move initially, but he couldn't quite get the back end to control through the right-hander of Villeneuve. And unfortunately, if he didn't gain a place, he just lost one.
He was good to obviously keep control of it, though. Obviously get it back going again. Obviously instead of taking out the 2. So obviously that's fair play as such. But Typhon is now in the pits.
Yeah, I think that's because he spun. I do wonder with this game. It's so difficult. I think when you get dirt on your tyres on this game, it just looks like all grip vanishes. Especially around this circuit, at least anyway.
I sort of like that, if I'm honest. But no, my luck, I'll hate it tomorrow. So ask me later in the week. But yeah.
Penultimate lap. And,
I think AOLs might have gone. Top of the hill. I'm not really sure what happened there.
I didn't see any yellow flags pop up, so...
I just happened to go onto his name, and his tyres were all covered in obviously gravel and
maybe just ran a bit wide somewhere.
Might have.
Ivan in 6th though. He's doing a good job in that kick Sauber. He's now in the points for the sprint. And the nice thing that Nathan behind has got a 3-second penalty, and he's also starting to close in on Jelle Giesen as well, who also has a 3-second penalty.
Yeah. So that puts him, as if it was to finish now, 5th, so that's 2 points. So obviously any points that the Sauber guys can get, happy days. So.
And remember, the Sauber guys and the Ferrari guys are probably quite close competitive teammates, because obviously Ken, Owen, Ivan and Ruddo, so they do talk to each other in obviously the IRL Discord. So it's a little bit like almost like an inter-server battle here going on. Obviously Owen and Kent used to be teammates. As Sunboy picks up 3 seconds penalties as we head on to the final lap of the race. The question is Stinos close enough to Shortbread this time around? He looks to the outside. He's down the outside. Can he complete it? Yes, he can. Stays there through the right-hander. Stinos gets an unbelievable move through Tamburello.
For the move on the inside.
And Sydney, I was just about to say, Sydney down the inside of Villeneuve. Question is, can Shortbread keep it there? Yes, he can. Both of them keep the back end in check, but Sydney, obviously, because he's got a lesser angle, can carry the pace. And Shortbread loses 2 places. Sydney loses the back end. Shortbread loses the back end. Everyone is just got no grip available to them, but they've got to survive now until the end. Beyond Boer actually gone 5 seconds, pretty much clear in the lead. Down the hill through towards Acca Minerale. Can Sydney do anything about Stinos and maybe get that 2nd place? Closing in up the hill, although just losing a little bit of traction, I think, out of Acca Minerale, down towards Varianta Alta. Flick it right, flick it left. Who's going to have the best get out of this corner? Not really anyone had a better one than anyone else. We're going to go back to Bjorn de Boer because he got a start. That was absolutely fantastic. Lost the lead, gained it back with the DRS, and it's been Bjorn de Boer ever since. And he wins the sprint race here in Imola. That is a lovely 6 points to his name. It's good to see him back near that top. He's had a couple of tough races. Stinos in 2nd, Sydney in 3rd, Shortbread 4th. What a battle between those 3 guys. Jelle Giesen crosses the line in 5th, but it's going to be Ivan Belov who takes it from Jelle Giesen. Milo de Boer will take 7th from Nathan. Paul Racetech is in 9th. DXT Matty 10th. Rodo 11th. Nitric Ash will come home in 12th with Ginger Tiger 13th. Sunboy, again, a slightly disappointing, just a spin, unfortunately costing him there. He'll claim 14th place, ARL 15th, obviously that spin at Villeneuve. Really
The
not
other way
helping
around,
him.
sorry. As it stands, if you could just keep it under that 3 seconds.
Yes, he can, ARL
Yeah,
14th. Not that it means any more points, but it's another place on the board. Sunboy 15th. Owen,
would be 17th.
he'll be 17th on the road in the end, I
Oh,
think.
okay. And Kent spot steals our last spot, I believe.
I mean, the car is not ghosted, so I don't know whether Kent got. I don't think Kent got back in, did he?
I'm not
I
too sure.
don't.
Well, apparently to this, it says Kent was first on my screen.
Yeah, something has really not gone right there.
But, yeah. Okay. Um, right, so everyone below Kent is the correct order.
Yeah, Kent isn't really an accounting factor here. So yeah, beyond the Boa, Stinos, Sydney, Shortbread, Ivan, Yellow Geeson, Mind the Boa, Nathan, Paul Racetech, Matty, Ruddo, Nitrogash, Ginger, ARL, Sunboy, Typhoon, and Owen. Is your order. Unfortunately, Kent not counting. Also, good evening to, I think it's Cheeky Chaz and Iron. Chaz, a fan of Shortbread. Iron, just enjoying the stream. Obviously, probably getting a little bit of scouting in, ready for tomorrow. Also, Iron won the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix in Tier 2 last week, so he's on a bit of a high from last week.
Yeah, obviously we're just gonna have a quick 5 minute break. Give the drivers a bit of a chance to obviously get a drink, and obviously prepare themselves for the next qualifying, which will start at obviously 38 minutes past 8 UK time. So just gives the drivers a quick break. Obviously just give them a chance to sort of recuperate, I guess. So don't know. I'm not gonna lie. Obviously, Bjorn. Then I think he had three gears going, and gone. Yeah, it just the minute he built that 2 second lead, yeah, it's like I thought. In some ways, I think he thought it might have been just a Sunday drive, but I suppose it might change in the actual race itself. What do you reckon?
Yeah, not sure. I mean, it's one of those things around here. You just never know what might happen. Anything normally will happen. Allegedly, we've got a dry race in store for the feature, so that makes things a little sort of simpler for the drivers. It just depends on tyre wear at this point because, although apparently potentially rain at 45 minutes in.
We just hope there's not a safety car then.
Are
It's
we not hoping
just...
for that? I'd be hoping for that, to be honest, as
Oh
a
no, don't
commentator.
wrong. From a viewing perspective, yes, but the drivers will be hoping they don't have to deal with that. So, yeah, it'll be quite interesting to be fair.
Yeah, we have 32 laps. The big question here is ultimately strategy around here. We saw the mediums, they didn't last very long. Whether the hards will, didn't really see the full effect of the hards really in the last race, if I'm completely honest. Obviously, the likes of Nathan and Paul Racetech, they kept up with Ivan, but they couldn't get past him. Obviously, that could partially be down to the DRS train, but generally speaking, you'd have expected them to have a good go at overtaking Ivan with the sort of extra grip.
It just didn't seem to do much though, did it? That's the thing. So obviously, from what we could see as well, people are saying in 30 minutes there's going to be rain. It's saying now. So bit of a interesting, different bit of information depending on the team. Obviously, this is strange. So.
Yeah, where's Spud when you need him? So we can just he can tell us one thing and we can go with the absolute opposite.
I know. Yeah, we need our weatherman. Just the man, the myth, the legend. That is Sir Spud.
ARL obviously confirming dry wet race unknown when. Also saying it felt a little bit like Saudi Arabia, that one, the back end all over the place. Yeah, it looks like a lot of people struggling with the rear end ARL. I don't think you're the only one out there. I do wonder whether the setups on this game, obviously, whether you got to set them up almost to try and make them sort of turn in, be that nimble, and whether that just compromises the back end of the car a little bit. You actually destabilise the rear looking for the front end grip.
Yeah, like there's no sweet spot for the pair, so it's one or the other. So yeah, a bit of a shame, but I suppose we'll crack on with it. Just give it one more minute, and then we will give the lovely message to our 18 drivers. Be quite interested to see if there's a difference between the qualifying sessions, obviously from last time. Well, I suppose we'll find out shortly.
Yeah, it's once again another one-shot qualifying to set up our feature race grid. And we are about to get underway then for that sprint. For the feature qualifying here at Emilia. Obviously, this is the new way of sprint nights. And it kind of means a little bit that people are more enticed to go for moves in the sprint, because obviously if it does go wrong, they're not ruining their starting position for the feature race, which is sort of a nice thing. Obviously, it does mean that it doesn't mix things up as much as it used to, but ultimately it does have its benefits. Let's have a look. We'll go on board with ARL. Let's see what the car's like this time around, because they would be able to change setups as per the rules. Through turn 1, flat as per usual. Down towards Tamburello. Hit the brakes nearly 50 metres in the dry. Flick it left, flick it right. And then just absolutely flat through the third part of Tamburello turn 4. Down to Villeneuve. Again, you're launching it in. Just a tap of the brakes to make it turn in the first part, and then drop it a cog for the right. Tosa down to third. Just ease the throttle in to get the grip on the way out. Up the hill we go. Bring it across to the right, and then 50 metres for Piratella. You see just how sharp he turns into. ARL might be contributing to the rear end. Jaco Minerali flat through the first bit. Nail the braking in a straight line for the second. Back up the hill. Bring it across to the left to give yourself the optimum line into Variant Outer. 50 metres again. And again, you just see just how ARL chugs the car in. Owen currently on provisional pole after a couple of sectors. Down the hill we head for Ravazza. Just about 75 metres, because it's downhill braking slightly off camber. You want to get the car turned in. Second part of Ravazza, just a little bit wide, not quite clipping the apex there for ARL. He's looking at 5th place right now. And he will take 5th place, with Owen taking pole position. 4 people, Shortbread and Sydney, the big ones, along with Ruddo, all invalidating their lap times.
Definitely. That's a proper impressive lap from Owen there. Obviously, I imagine he's going to want to do as much as he can to salvage some points, obviously after what unfortunately happened in the sprint race, and obviously try and get back into it. But no.
And look at the time difference between Owen and Beyond a Boa. It's 0.017. That's incredible.
That's like a blink, if that.
I mean, you pretty much wouldn't be able to see that to the naked eye. But Owen and Beyond Bow line up on the front row. Beyond Bow once again, and he'd be looking for a good start. Yella and Sunboy row 2, ARL Milo row 3, Paul and Ivan row 4, Ginger and Nathan, Typhoon, Matty, Kent, the last of the time people, Shortbread, Sydney, Ruddo, Nitrogash, and Stinos all did not set a time. And I'm starting to. I don't know if I saw the time of Kent.
Not sure if you can see on your screen.
I've just loaded in, and I've just seen the monsoon conditions that Emilia has presented us with. Scrap the dry stuff, it's straight to the boats.
It's actually a bit strange, bear in mind obviously what all the drivers were saying. So it's obviously you got some interesting comments so far in the Discord from the drivers. It's going to be pretty interesting. Yeah, I'll be surprised if quite a few drivers don't go max wings. So,
but the problem is they can't anymore because their setups are locked in from qualifying.
Oh, I forgot. Oh no, this is going to be horrible. I would not be looking forward if I was a steward in case this goes wrong. But unreal. Just. Oh.
And apparently it's a full wet race to the end. I think also Kent did actually get back in the car at the end of the last race, so he will get classified ahead. I mean, technically he should get classified ahead of Owen, but it will have to be adjudicated a little bit. Is either that or he got back in time for the qualifying. We'll have to have a look. But yeah, I mean, I hope people brought their rudders because they're going to need it in this weather.
I think they're going to need a lot more than that, mate. But yeah.
Yeah, they're saying this is the only track he's quick in at the dry.
Well, unfortunately for you, pal, it's not wet.
This is what I mean. It is approximate weather where we do use it because you can't get perfect weather forecast. You just never know what's going to happen, when it's going to hit, and unfortunately,
our drivers for Tier 1, unfortunately, you've got to best it to see what they can get out of it. So, this is it's going to be quite interesting, but I think so.
Now, in normal everyday F1, this would be sort of red flagged or safety card, but this is a game, and we like to go powerboat racing in F1 on the game.
Yeah, we've got the powerboat edition, so like it's quite interesting. So obviously we've got formation lap to get us going. So,
and for once, interesting decision though. The full wet tyres are out, except for Poor Race Tech and Sydney. They've gone for intermediates.
I suppose if you think about it, obviously if it works out okay, if it's not too bad. DXT and Kent have already been disqualified.
I think they just had probably a minor collision. I think possibly Matty may have lit the rears up and spun and collected Kent.
It's not been a good night for Kent, has it?
Well, I don't know. I mean, apparently he's got quite high wings on his car, so he could be quids in on this race.
But obviously, it's just interesting.
Yeah, it's just got a lot more interesting, this race. I mean, this is genuinely one of those ones where you can't even predict anything about what's going to happen because anything can happen in these conditions. I mean, the people at the back could gain lots of positions. They could be completely blinded by the spray as they enter Tamburello. Trying to pick your braking point down to the first, in my opinion, proper corner in this circuit It's going to be tough. And people are going to have to be very, very careful. They're going to have to brake earlier and earlier as they go down the field to ensure that they don't crash into each other.
I think it's going to be quite interesting, especially with Ruddo being near the back, obviously Owen at the front. So obviously Owen's basically going to fend off like quite a bit of the grid. Obviously hoping that Ruddo can...
The important thing here, though, no DRS.
See, this... we'll be able to see what that the ERS
and look at the angle. I'm just watching Owen. Look at the angle he's coming to the grid at. I love you can park into the grid box nowadays because it is brilliant. You can see everyone angling their car to the right to basically not have to turn right off of the start line. Everyone just wants a straight run off the grid. There's lots of people not quite getting there.
Yeah. Oh, this is interesting. It's given us obviously the game strategies. You reckon you can do one stop or three stop?
Don't see that, but we're going to go to the grid. It is the 5 red lights. Look at Owen. Look at the angle. We are powerboat racing in Imola for the first time of the season. And Matty has a drive-through penalty for a jump start. That's not ideal. Nathan's unfortunately left the session. Hopefully Mike can get him back in. But we head down towards Tamburello for the first time. Bjorn de Boer gets the best out of the lot. He gets into the lead as we go through the first chicane. Are we going to get through clean? It looks like we are. That's fantastic from everyone. We've got through Tamburello unscathed by the looks of things, even with all the spray. Fantastic to see. Bjorn de Boer already 1.1 up the road as Owen and Jelle Giesen now have to fight over second place. Up towards through Tosa. Typhoon's gone wide as we go through Villeneuve. But generally speaking, we're all still racing and we are still all in one piece. Bit of a slide there from Sydney as he comes out of Tosa on those intermediates. I don't think he's got a lot of grip to work with right now. But he's hoping that this rain eases up. Nathan's game crashed, but Mike, I'm sure you can get him an invite back in to get him back into his car.
Yeah, I've just sent him an invite then. Obviously, there we go. Just
ARL and Milo going side by side through a variant out in the wet. That's an interesting decision. There's still side by side variant out. Ackerman and Rally, sorry. And big slide from Milo as he locks it up on the brakes through into variant Alta. Although he did get a bit of a switch back here on ARL, and he's actually going to get it through. That's incredible.
What a move.
I mean, how often do you get to lock the rears up into a chicane and yet get a switch back on your opponent and make a move? That's fantastic from the Alpine. ARL's the back end just moving around a little bit as they come down towards the start-finish line for the first time of 32 in this incredibly wet race. And there's going to be action everywhere as Typhoon is right on Ginger Tiger coming down the main straight.
It's just, it's obviously all the drivers, obviously, different and weird.
Oh, is that Ruddo? Ruddo down the inside of Typhoon. Sorry, Mikey.
Yeah.
I thought Ruddo was maybe going to go for a 2-for-1 offer down at Tamburello.
Okay, that's an interesting move there. Obviously, it looked like he was going to go on the outside.
And Ruddo now off the road. He's going to probably try and slow that up to not only get a warning, and he does. Good stuff from him, but it drops him down to 15th. Shortbread is being overtaken by Kent for 11th. Oh my word, that's a bit close. Kent trying to sneak through the gap that really wasn't quite there, but luckily nothing occurred. And now Shortbread under attack from Stinos down the inside of Piratella. Remember, these two and Sydney behind were all at the front of the pack in the sprint race. Oh, don't go through Akimenarale. Oh my word, that's
from
close.
Ruddo's perspective, and it's like you can't see a thing, mate. This is
Ruddo looking. Ruddo's not going to go down the inside here. Yeah. Yes, he is. 3 wide. Varianta outer.
This is a real.
Stinos, that will probably be contested to go back down as more of a warning more than anything. But Ruddo gets picked up 2 places. Although I have the funny feeling Ginger will probably feel like he got pushed off there. But he was sort of the meat in a sandwich of 3 wide into Variant outer, and 3 wide. I mean, 2 wide doesn't really go into that corner, let alone 3 wide.
Especially in the rain as well. So, wow, some big cojones from that move there.
Meanwhile, Paul Racetech has managed to settle into a nice rhythm on those intermediate tyres. He's keeping pace at the moment, but I'd say he's not really going any quicker at this stage. Ivan in 7th. The top lot have sort of spread out a bit. Bjorn's got a 2.7 gap to Owen. Owen's got 1.6 to Yella, 1.2 to Sunboy, 3.1 to Milo. I do want us to a degree whether that's a little bit intentional to basically not have too much of the spray hitting them so they can see and sort of get on with it a little bit. ARL close to Milo. We've got Kent, Ruddo, Shortbread, Sydney, Stinos, all in a line behind Typh.
Behind Nathan going on Nitro on the inside. Oh, bit of contact between the two.
Bit of a slide. I think Nathan gave that place up, probably rightfully so, with the contact.
Yeah.
Good stuff from him. Ruddo trying to chase down Kent at the moment. As Kent looks to the outside of Typhoon, into variant outer. Oh my word, something's happened to Typhoon.
Yeah,
there was a big connection problem, I think, there for Typhoon. All of a sudden, he was entering variant outer, and all of a sudden, he was taking out the 150 board.
I mean, fair play. Emilia drift and all that, but obviously, hopefully, he's all good to keep going, and just crack on. Obviously, still quite 20 odd laps to go, so hopefully, he gets it to the finish. Yeah.
The top 10 now, all separated by a minimum of 1 second. Ruddo closing in on Kent as they enter Tamburello with Shortbread in tow, and Sydney just behind. Sydney is starting, I don't know if those inters are starting to come a little bit good, but I'd say the rain hasn't really backed off much.
No, I don't know if it's getting worse, if I'm honest with you.
I think it's probably still the same. In the real terms, it's still the same classification of rain as it was at the start. But yeah, I mean, the spray doesn't look as much. I don't know whether that's just because now we're in single file or just because it is just a little bit drier than it was at the start. But you can see here Ruddo under immense pressure from Shortbread. In fact, actually Shortbread under even further pressure from Sydney as we enter Acqua Minerale.
Obviously, Paul's took quite a bit of time out of having it, so
yeah, Paul's been around that time for the last few laps, so he is slowly catching. I think those inters are now starting to come into that window.
It might have been a good decision by both Sydney and Paul, to be fair, but I imagine we'll probably find out the next few laps. Oh, bit of a back end slide from Ivan there into the penultimate corner.
We have seen this before back on F124 where people have taken the inters to start with, and there you go, Sydney a 31.5. Those inters are starting to come good, and he's going to get past Shortbread down in towards Tamburello. The inters are starting to work, and this is why people do this. It's not necessarily because they have a great start. It's because as the rain eases up, which I'm guessing, and it does look like it has eased up, if I'm completely honest, as Ivan picks up 3 seconds, they will come good towards the stint.
It's it's quite interesting because I don't know, all of a sudden it was like dead heavy on the last lap, and now it looks like obviously very light rain. So obviously most of it's standing water, so I'm obviously never done on a lap in the rain on this, so I can't really give a experience sort of perspective. But yeah, the question is, how long will they last though? But I suppose that doesn't really matter because obviously if it's light rain, it's light-ish, shall we say.
As long as there's water on the deck, they will go for a long. I mean, you still have to make a pit stop at some point, but as Bjorn de Boer, I think Bjorn de Boer has picked this. Bjorn's come in for intermediates, I think. He's going to come out behind Sydney.
Yeah, he's gone in for the inters.
On board with Sydney. On board with Sydney, he's going to go past Ruddo here, down towards Tamburello. Not much Ruddo can do. The intermediates are the tyre to be on. And you can see all the wet runners, apart from Bjorn, have decided that they probably need to go as far as they can. Because as Ginger Tiger, 10 seconds speeding in the pit lane, he's coming in for intermediates. But I think the people at the front on the wets, they're all going to lose out. But essentially here, if everyone on the wets was to pit, Paul Racetech is your current leader.
To be fair, for his second race as well with us, Obviously, wasn't too lucky from what I remember in Jeddah, but he's had a really good start to the to this race. To be fair, but
He's
obviously
right
still
on the
quite a bit
back of
time to go.
Ivan with, and remember Kent's quite quick because he's running quite high downforce at present. As far as we've seen, sort of in the paddock area, Kent's got quite high wings attached to his car, so he's got good sort of area at the moment. Paul Racetech gets all sorts of out of shape into Varianta Alta. Beyond a
He's got to
boa
be careful.
picks up a place
Sydney's
against
not in
Typhoon.
gearbox. Sydney just trying to find space. Oh,
That's all
both
right.
drivers. Oh, he's going to try and go on the inside. Oh,
Contact. He wasn't really alongside to particularly make that one, Sydney. So
Oh,
all's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, yellow Milo. Who else is going to come in? Paul Racetech now up into 5th place.
Okay, Sydney going around Kent. Yeah, just that pace difference is unreal.
It's grip coming out of corners. I think a lot of the wet runners.
Oh.
Kent picks up 3 seconds through Tamburello. Easily done in these conditions. But for Paul Racetech, he's now going to have to get a move on and get past Ivan if he doesn't want to become the victim of a Sydney overtakes. You feel if Sydney gets past Paul, he's going to drive away, get past Ivan, and start building a gap. He's got a nice gap over Bjorn de Boer at the moment, who's effectively the next driver that you'd say, in current conditions, will be the one to challenge him. As here comes Paul, looking around the outside of the right-hand flick. Can he get alongside? No, he can. He's going to have to back out of that through Piratella.
He's obviously got to pick his moves very carefully going through this, obviously, next set of corners. You know, he's got to make it stick if he goes for it, because obviously Sydney will capitalise if he leaves a gap. But it's very close, to be fair, this racing at the minute. Question is, I'll be surprised if 2 or 3 more drivers didn't go in for their inters. There's no way they're going to survive on them wets and stay competitive.
Owen coming into the pit lane. Speeds in that pit lane, picks up 10 seconds of penalties.
He had 7 seconds, I think it was.
And more drivers coming in. Oh, that's not ideal for Kent. They're going to be double stacking down at Salbert. Obviously, no communication going on there because the two have come in, unless Kent's decided actually he's better off stacking and taking a slight bit of lost time. The only thing is, I'm assuming that the game will release shortbread. It doesn't matter anyway.
Yeah, Ruddo's done the jump on Kent. It'd be interesting to see how they get back out, but both Sunboy and ARL staying out.
Sydney has got past Paul Racetech, and he is now starting to close in on ARL. I mean, for the likes of Owen and for Ginger, they're going to be hoping for a safety car here as Paul now picks up 3 seconds of time penalties. So they can serve that 10 seconds without much in the way of a penalty.
Yeah, just have a look at our penalty count so far. So obviously both Ginger and Owen on 10 seconds. Obviously everyone else on 3 as it stands.
Oh, I think there's a bit of contact between ARL and Sydney. ARL comes into the pits, locks it right up coming into the pits, and it's a fast lap for Sydney at 27.4. But now everyone is going to be on those intermediate tyres. Obviously Sydney's been on them from the start, so the question is, how long will the tyres go? How big is the performance drop-off when they do go off at some point? But Paul Racetech, he's got himself a valid 2nd place right now. It's been a great start for the Red Bull driver. Say 2nd race in IRL for this season. I think he did used to race in IRL. Obviously, he's come back to it, so it's good to see him.
Oh, sorry, Jord. Milo just right off the inside there. Obviously, got the move done on Sunboy. Sorry, going into turn 2. Very close between the two. And yeah, sorry.
No, it's all good. We're gonna get you to learn these corner names, Mikey, as well. Can't be saying turn 2 at Imola. It's Tamburello.
I do apologise. I am a novice in this department.
Meanwhile, the battle for 9th is heating up between Ivan and Ruddo as they head up the hill towards Piratella. Less than a second there.
Don't know if you've noticed, Joe, from what we can see, we are starting to get a bit of a dry line. Yeah, it's still raining, but it is starting to dry. From what I can see.
Yeah, I think there'll be a line. It won't be dry as such. I think the rain's going to have to really sort of back right off to get this to get a dry line, and it's going to be treacherous for anyone. If anyone thinks that's a dry line, it's going to be very, very treacherous right now. As Owen picks up fastest lap of the race so far, he's in 4th place. Aiko's a space around him, but with a 10-second penalty to his name. I mean, ultimately, we know when it starts to get dry because DRS will become enabled, and everyone's going to end up in those wet patches to keep the tyres cool. Because if it does start to dry, those inters will heat up very, very quickly.
Just burn out.
Exactly that. So it wouldn't surprise me if at some point we start seeing drivers aiming for those wet patches to keep the tyres nice and cool. And Redo, and already starting to do that by the looks of it, going down towards Villeneuve.
Obviously, Bjorn's just starting to catch Paul. Question is, he's going to take him here. Yeah, he's got him on the going on to the outside of the corner. It's not really much of a defence that from Paul.
I feel like Paul sort of looked up at that, gone, it's not my race. I'm not as quick as him. There's no point holding him up. There's no point losing time to someone who's going to get past you anyway.
Yeah.
I think that's the way he's probably looked at that, because let's face it, Bjorn was always going to get past, and Paul's in a different race at the moment. He's on 9-lap-old tyres compared to Bjorn's 4. Paul doesn't want to lose time to those behind him because he's in a really good place right now as times continue to fall here at Imola as the rain's still just about falling, but definitely not as heavy as it was at the start.
I imagine Paul might be cheeky and go for a 1-stop, but obviously, like you said, depends how long the rain is going to last. Obviously, unfortunately, we don't get these bits of information in our comms box, unfortunately.
It'll depend on sort of whether the rain stays, also how worn those intermediate, how fast those inters wear. Because ultimately, when you start wearing the inters, they sort of start becoming like slick tyres, and it becomes actually quicker to just go get another set of intermediates, even though it's sort of damp or greasy or sort of in those type of conditions. Redo Shortbread looking to go around the outside of Redo at Tosa isn't quite going to pay off there, but I think Redo's getting a little bit sort of bulked up here by Ivan. You can see Redo gets up close to Ivan and then just can't quite find the grip or something of that nature to get past that Sauber.
Indeed, mate, indeed. It's nice little, to be fair, it's an interesting little battle between these three. So it's
ARL is slowly catching up to Sunboy as well, so we're going to have a battle here for 6th between Milo, Sunboy and ARL. Question is, can Ruddo finally get past Ivan? If he gets a good run here out of Ravazza and has good ERS charge, he can easily get past him.
The question is Shortbread going to do? Oh, he's going to go. Oh,
that's not the route I'd have taken, but he's taking it and he's going to get the place. I wonder if Ruddo's having to burn ERS because Ivan got away from him. Shortbread drove past him like he was stood still almost. Obviously, we don't check the ERS levels because we don't like giving that stuff away for anyone who might have an engineer watching.
Obviously, it's only fair, I suppose.
Aero's made a mistake somewhere because he's now 1.4 behind Sunboy rather than the 8/10 that he was.
Yeah.
Well, this is looking a bit of a slide from Milo coming through Acumen or Alley. Sydney now puts in a 24.7, so times continue to fall. Bjorn 24.4. Those two driving away at present. As Sunboy stares at the back of the Alpine coming down into Ravazza. And Shortbread is now going to be the one to try and attack Ivan down the main straight. I think Kent's on the back of Stinos, but Kent's high downforce is going to start to not pay dividends as it gets drier. Owen in the pits for a set of hard tyres.
Okay. Could the Tifosi see something we can't, or could it
Well,
be
we
another Tifosi?
we all know what the Ferrari pit wall can be like. This is a roll of the dice. I think Owen's done this because if it works out, he can get his 10 seconds back quite quickly.
Probably.
He will. He will. If this works, that 10-second penalty that he just had to serve, he will claim a lot of that back by being on a slick tyre because it will be a lot faster. It just depends if you can get those tyres up to temperature and if the track really is dry enough that they will actually stick to the track and grip. This is a very interesting play. And the thing is, for the guys at the top, it's going to be hard to know whether it's working or not until he sets the fastest lap of the race.
But it is one of them. You don't want to go in too early, and everyone's like, "Oh,
I'll tell you what, though, he is taking time out of Typhoon, and those tyres aren't even heated up yet.
Let me.
He'd already pulled that down to 4.3 seconds.
1:24.1.
Milo in the pits. I think Milo's done this in response to Owen.
Right, I'm going to see what Milo goes on to. I'm probably going to say he might be cheeky and go mediums. Or
no, it's hard.
No, he's gone.
They're going to go harsh to the end because if they can do it on only one pit stop, they will.
Oh, it looks like it's stopped raining from what I could. Oh no, just little drizzle.
Typhoon, 10 seconds. I just on board Typhoon. I thought he was going too quick. 10 seconds for Typhoon. Where does Owen?
Started a trend there.
Yeah, well, Owen has stayed ahead of Milo de Boer with that 10 seconds. And this is the thing. He is going to take a substantial amount of time. As Nitric Gas now picks up 10 seconds for speeding in the pit lane. It's a difficult pit lane. I don't know if the board has been wiped out or something, but people are unable to slow down for the pit entry.
Right, let's just go to the front. I'm going to see if Sydney pits. They're going to keep going.
DRS enabled.
Has been enabled.
Surely Bjorn's going to come in. Yes, he does.
Question is Paul going to come in, or is he just...
Everyone. As soon as that message comes up, everyone's surely got to come into the pits.
Owen is going to be loving this. Owen is actually going to be loving this. Paul's
Yellow Geeson. This is the big one now, is Yellow Geeson, because Owen...
Yeah, Yellow's in.
This is the thing. Owen had a 10-second penalty that was going to put him behind. Oh, that was interestingly tight for Yellow in the pits. Beyond de Boer has picked the medium tyre.
IRL. Short pad.
So the Mercedes are going to double stack.
Okay, obviously the other Ferrari is in, Stinos is in, Ked. Oh wow, this is unreal.
So Bjorn out ahead, Paul Racek out ahead of Owen. Is Yella going to get out ahead of Owen? This is the question. I think he will do.
Right, Owen's now passing the entry now.
Remember, he's doing near 200 mile an hour. There's Yella Geeson coming out of the pits. Can Owen get ahead of him down towards Tamburello? Yellow goes to the inside, and unfortunately Owen unable to get past. We have a yellow flag for some reason. I don't really know why. But here comes Owen to the outside of Villeneuve. What a move from Owen! Although it gets it slightly wrong, goes deep. Yellow Geeson gets back past. So good patience from Yellow in the Mercedes. But this is what I was saying. Owen was due to be about 5 seconds behind Yellow with that penalty, and he has got those 5 seconds back just by going to that tyre at the right time.
This could be one of the best strategy calls called by the Ferrari pit wall, if I'm honest.
Meanwhile, Sydney in the pits. Let's have a look at Bjorn de Boer. I think Bjorn on those mediums, because they'll heat up quite quickly. I think Bjorn's about to take the lead.
Oh no, what's he? Sydney's just leaving now.
This is going to be a similar situation to Yellow and Owen. Although it is actually a lot... Okay, no, it's a lot bigger actually. Bjorn taken about 1.4 to 2 seconds. About 1.8 seconds Bjorn's taken on that single lap. So good stuff from Sydney. But the question is, those mediums didn't last long in the sprint. Are they going to last long enough?
With another lap. Oh, okay. Milo's now starting to respond with a fastest lap.
Shortbread all over the back of ARL. Looking for a move. Shortbread's actually got ahead of Ivan.
Some boy as well.
Oh my word, that's interesting. Through Tamburello, what a move! Here comes Shortbread round the outside. Fantastic racing from all of them. Typhoon picks up a fastest lap at the moment, 21.0. Times are going to tumble. We know this. It's going to get drier. It's going to get more rubbered in. But Shortbread up into 7th. It's been a fantastic drive from him. In terms of positions gained, he's up 7 places. Sydney up 14 right now.
Oh, we've got a yellow flag.
That is Nathan in the Aston Martin. He's gone at Tamburetto. Good stuff. He stopped, waited for the McLaren and Nitro to go through. And he gets back on. And he's going to have to get those tyres back clean again.
Obviously, with us at the halfway point now of the race, the question is, those hards might last. The mediums will probably have to come in. If we're going off the experience we've had in the past on all the F1 titles, you will have to pit. There's no way those mediums will go to the end.
I mean, it's whether the people on the mediums are thinking, strap on the mediums, we'll just go fast, build gaps, and then come back in and it'll be fine because, again, they'll have a tyre delta, and they should, at the moment, be able to be quicker than the hard tyres. Though Sydney's doing a very good job of keeping Beyond the Bar at around 2.9 to 3 seconds at the moment. So that's the only thought, is whether the medium runners are thinking, let's just put on some faster tyres, we'll just go really fast, try and build those gaps, and hopefully that'll offset an extra pit stop.
Indeed.
The ARL is all over the back of Shortbread as they come through Piratella down towards Aki Minerani, just half a second between them.
I think the closest battle after the... Oh, we've got a yellow...
in the pits, Nathan in the pits.
Okay, that's Nathan on 16 completed laps, I believe.
Yeah, because you go past the start-finish line in the pit.
I'll just make a quick note for our graphics department.
Meanwhile, ARL on the back of Shortbread. Obviously, DRS is active. So this should be quite a nice move here from ARL. Yes, it is. Around the outside. Oh my word. Having to avoid the bot-driven Nathan Aston Martin who's coming out to retire. I don't understand why the game can't just retire the car in the garage.
I don't myself, to be honest. But here's Ruddo looking for a move on Ivan.
Yeah.
Pushing him wide.
Have to be a bit careful though because of Nathan's car. There was a yellow flag, but luckily no one overtook.
Oh!
Oh, that's a bit of damage to Stinos' Red Bull. That's an end plate gone from the Red Bull. That's the last thing you need around this circuit.
It just looked like he just lost it a little bit on the curb. At least it's only an end plate and not a complete DNF. Well, that's obviously good to see.
Sydney a 17.8, 17.6 from Beyond the Boa. But that is really weird. Beyond the Boa, 2/10 quicker on that lap, but the gap hasn't really come down. Still around 2.8 seconds. Stinos picking up another 3-second time penalty.
Imagine that'd be due to the end plate damage, unfortunately, he sustained.
Unfortunately for Nathan, just saying internet issues was the cause of the retirement. Internet was apparently not okay as Milo de Boer gets past Owen for 5th place. Big shame that for Nathan because he looked like he had some decent pace, especially in that mid-pack, as Stinos gets past Ruddo. Obviously a little bit less downforce now with that end plate gone. A bit quicker on a straight line.
A bit of pace though.
Yeah, obviously Nathan feeling probably it wasn't okay to continue with the internet he had, which is fair enough. I mean, it's sort of like the real life side of sim racing. It's almost like a real life mechanical failure. Unfortunately, having to bring the car into the garage for retirement. But back to the action, and Shortbread now nearly a second behind ARL, and I just get the feeling those mediums are already struggling.
Yeah, just watching Aaron here with my ears keep in touch with Milo. Obviously coming down towards the penultimate corners. So I imagine you might try and get him on the...
It's interesting actually because Yellow Geeson obviously has driven away from Owen and Milo's caught him. Has Owen got higher wings than everyone else? Because he looks really well. I mean, he got pole position in the wet, in the dry. So there's no reason why that car shouldn't be a little bit quicker.
But I don't know. I think.
And Stinos gets past Ivan before Tamburello, and that's going to annoy Ruddo a little bit because Ruddo hasn't been able to pass Ivan down that main straight all night.
Well, question is obviously with that damage to his obviously the front end plate, it might wear for Ruddo. Obviously, Ivan trying to make a move, just give him a little bit of a chance to creep back in if he can keep up with him.
Biggest problem here for Ruddo now is that Ivan's going to have DRS on Stinos. So it's going to make it even harder, and Ruddo's actually dropped out of that 1 second window to Ivan. So it's going to get a little bit harder here for Ruddo. I think he's had a bit of a struggle at the start of the season with this game, with the tyre wear especially, so lots to learn in the Ferrari camp, but we know it will come good. Ruddo will learn this and will understand it sooner rather than later as Typhoon picks up another 3 second penalty. Shortbread, DRS open, should be a nice easy move on ARL, I think. I won't get too excited, just a straight line overtake down before Tamburello, and ARL just goes, yep, I can't fight that, so carry on through, sir.
Yeah, and obviously with Stinos with the fastest lap there, but no. The thing is, it's quite interesting.
Milo 3 seconds.
Owen just trying to go for a move, yeah.
Up towards Piratella they come, and not really anything going on right now there. But it is the closest people, apart from ARL and Shortbread, it is the closest battle we have right now on circuit, as Sydney is starting to pull away from beyond, which says to me those mediums are starting to go off after just 7 laps.
I suppose it was a bit of a gamble, if I'm honest. Yeah, so, but yeah, the question is how long are the hards going to last? This is because obviously I don't think they'll last the end of the race, you know. In all honesty,
it could be a bit of a struggle. I mean,
Nitro for 3 seconds. So.
You'd like to think the hards will do over half race distance, though.
No, you would. But saying that's when they came in, if I remember correctly.
It was around lap 16, around lap 15, 16 that they came in. I mean, Owen even, it was like lap 13, I think, for Owen, 12, 13, so... The problem is that we don't necessarily know what compounds the tyres really are. Obviously, they are soft, medium, hard. But this year, there's obviously you've got 5 different tyre compounds that Pirelli bring to each they don't bring each one to each Grand Prix, but they have 5 they can select from C1 being the hardest to C5 being the softest. So it could be that this medium tyre is a C4, which is quite soft in their range, but the hard's actually a C2. It could be, and it's something that we saw at Belgium this weekend in the real thing. The hard was 2 steps harder than the medium tyre.
Just Pirelli for you, innit? There's just no. There's hard, there's medium, there's soft. But yeah.
Nathan has gone back to the hotel for the day as he leaves the session. An unfortunate day for Nathan. Very unlucky for sure, but Owen staying on the back of Milo. We got ARL on the back of Shortbread, and he's bringing Sunboy with him. A little bit of a back end twitch from Shortbread as went through Tamburello there. Not the really ideal situation for him, not through that corner anyway. Everyone behind now starting to just spread out a bit as Mikey spots him.
I thought ARL was going to lose it just a tad then. Obviously, with Sunboy nearly going into the gearbox of ARL. Quite close.
There's Ackerman and Rally then on board with ARL. Line astern, you don't make overtakes down through this section. You can maybe set one up into Variante Alta if you're close enough, but more often than not, it's the main straight. That is the main place for overtaking. Sydney still leads, 4.3 to the good over Beyond Burt. Paul Racetech in third place. Does have a penalty, I think that's only 3 seconds, but at present he's managing to keep 6.4 to Yellow Geeson.
Obviously, Owen with the DRS, can he get Milo now? I don't think he's going to do it. It's 2 for all. Just trying to take Milo into the stage.
Meanwhile, further behind, IRL overtakes Shortbread. Sunboy has a look, and Sunboy on the grass, and Stinos taking full advantage. He goes up into 8th place.
It's pretty impressive, to be fair. Bear in mind, Stinos has a damaged front wing.
Shows you how useless an end plate is on an F1 car nowadays.
It's sort of redundant, isn't it?
I mean, right now this is a really good day for both Mercedes and Red Bull in the constructors. Red Bull need a little bit of a boost at the moment to get themselves back in this title contention. Obviously, we've only had 2 rounds so far, but it's only a 10-round season, and the Red Bull team currently down in 8th place on 10 points, are 23 points behind the Williams team. And obviously the Williams team of Shortbread are alone at the moment. It's going to cause a bit of upset. Obviously Racing Bull's also up there, and Haas in 3rd. And Haas have also got Sydney at the front, but Typhoon not scoring. So this is really important for Red Bull to get these points.
Definitely. Thing is, obviously, one or two people obviously not been able to make it this evening. So obviously just gives other teams that just that slimmer a chance of just making differences that obviously later in the championship will make that massive difference. Obviously, which in some ways we like to see. If hopefully going into the last race, we hope at the season being obviously sort of a two-way battle. So it'd be quite nice to see. So it's not too early to tell so far.
I think the way the teams are at the moment, we could end up with a 3 or 4 team battle into the last set of races, but Owen's still on the back of Milo, and you can see the gap that Sydney's pulled. Sydney's just coming up to Tamburello, which is the second corner of the circuit in Sector 1. Owen, who's in 6th, has just come through Varianta Alta, which is just at the start of Sector 3.
And Roddo's now just going through that the chicane. Apologies for not remembering the name. We'll learn them for next time. Don't worry.
Let's go on board with Stinos a minute, because he's closing in on the sister team. I say closing in like an absolute torpedo. Jobs are good, and as we go on board with Owen into Tamburello. Left, right, left, Shortbread into the pit. So those mediums haven't lasted. He'll probably go on to a set, well, maybe another set of mediums. He's got a set of softs. They're going to last even less time. As we're on board with Owen through Villeneuve.
I'm going to guess he's going to be cheeky and try and go for a fastest lap. If he can try and get 12th. So, be surprised, but
it'll be an interesting decision. Anyway, through Piratello with Owen down towards Acqua Minerale. The right and the flick right, 90 right. Oh, a little bit wide there from Milo. Gives Owen a little bit of hope as he come up towards Varianta Alta. Not quite enough of a run to execute a move, and Owen just seems quite content right now just to sit behind the Alpine.
Just biding his time. Oh. It moved from Ginger there on Typhoon, or has he just come out of the pits?
Typhoon's just come out of the pits onto a set of soft tyres. I mean, the only other thing as well is actually just to note, anyone who used the hard tyres in the sprint may well have lost them for the race, because obviously the tyre allocation is different in a sprint, and I don't know if they would have actually had 2 sets of mediums for this race, which is potentially why Shortbread's had to go onto a set of soft tyres, because he just didn't have another set of tyres available to him.
Potentially.
Or he's got a set of hards, but he just thinks that the hards aren't going to fire up in time to really make a difference.
How many laps has he been on? He's literally just come on to those softs, to be fair, hasn't he? Yeah, so it's, 5-6 laps? not really much time to.
I think
Get
Typhoon's
the
just done Ginger Tiger down into Ravazza, which we haven't seen all race long. So it shows you the grip that the softs do actually have. Everyone up to, Nitro Gash has been lapped. In this race. Meanwhile, this fight for 5th place just got more interesting because Stinos has joined the party and he's going to go past Owen like he's stood still. He's going to look to the outside of Milo, isn't quite going to happen, and another team actually
he's going
haven't. He's going to switch him on the exit of Tamburello. He does get the inside up towards Villeneuve, and Milo's not going to have anything to answer for that on that one.
Really
Stinos through. And the Red Bull's looking good, but the other team that's looking quite good is also the Alpines of the De Boer brothers. 2nd and 6th right now.
Sorry, there's shortbread with that fastest lap. So as it stands, if he could find what a second and a half, 2 seconds. Oh no, is it? Sorry, my apologies. 8/10. Well, obviously the way he's cutting time out of Kent, he will get. Well, basically the point for where he scores, and then a point for fastest lap in the race.
He does, but he's got to remember Typhoon's going to be after that lap as well, because he's also on a set of soft tyres. Sunboy on the back of ARL still. And Stinos is just rocketed away, 1.2 seconds now. In front of Milo. The other thing as well, actually, to note for Owen here, penalties. Is he not really fighting Milo much, because Milo's got 3 seconds of penalties? Just stick with him, take a place.
Yeah.
Jobs are good. And Sunboy overtakes ARL in the DRS.
Well, Stinos has got 6. Obviously, Milo's got 3. So that'll put Owen into 5th. Obviously, he's too far away to catch Paul, I believe.
Yeah, and Paul's doing a really good job of keeping Yella at bay at the moment as well.
But to be fair, it could work quite well for Rudder, actually. If you're just looking at a place or two. Obviously, if you can keep in touch with 6.3 seconds, we could just.
He's well outside of Ivan's penalty area, where Ivan only with 3 seconds at present. We're looking at the closest people on track right now, which is Owen and Milo. 4.5 tenths up to 5 tenths now as we go down towards Ravazza. So, Sydney now on to lap number 30 of 32. We have 3 laps remaining here for the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix. And it's been one of those ones, it's one of those races where the start in the wet was absolute chaos, multiple different strategies, and just you always get those races where it just then calms down because obviously people have done different strategies, come on different laps. Ivan gets past ARL now for 9th place, but that is only just 9th on the road. Once penalties come into effect, ARL to the back as Shortbread gets past Kent to knock Kent out of the points. Yeah, this has been one of those races where obviously you've had people pit on different laps, and as the race wears on, it just gets a little bit more spread out because of obviously those time differences of the undercuts, the overcuts that have happened. But Owen has stayed behind Milo all this time. Yella is slowly catching on to Paul Racetech, but I hope Paul Racetech's maybe saved a bit of battery for himself to just fend that off, because he's driven very, very well today. Made the right choice at the start, starting on the intermediates. Obviously, he pretty much allowed Bjorn to go through because it wasn't really his fight. But generally speaking, it's been a fantastic race for him, and he genuinely deserves this podium spot right now.
Oh no, definitely. For his second race, obviously, after being so unlucky in Jeddah, to come back and obviously do the performance he's done, it's brilliant. But like you said, he's just going to make sure he's got enough battery because he's got that 3-second penalty. So if he can not lose 3.5 seconds, as I said, that would drop below it. But yeah, 3.5 Yeah.
Be
Well, 2.5 over. Sorry,
2.5,
my
yeah.
apologies. I can't read today. One of those days. Yeah, 2.5 seconds. Hopefully, fingers crossed, where we can, secure it. But no. Obviously, closest battle still, as it has been for, let's be honest, the past few laps, is Owen.
And Sydney, we
Oh,
got to keep an eye on this, because in Tier 2 a couple of weeks ago we missed the winner of walk coming through because of the gaps that were available, but Sydney has started the last lap at 32 of 32 here in the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix.
I reckon Owen might make a move here. Not all.
Well, he runs a bit wide. He doesn't want to be doing that. That is risky from Owen to potentially pick up a penalty. Now remember, if he picks up a penalty, this 6th place is out of reach. I mean, he's not going to get 5th, but Stinos all over the back of Yella. A little bit of contact as we go through Tamburelli between the Mercedes and the Red Bull, our old arch enemies. And I've just seen a spot of rain as well. That's not going to affect anything, but Yella just about holding on. And this is going to... How much penalty has Stinos actually got here? Because... he's gone round! I don't know if he's clipped the grass. He's got to be careful now, rejoining back on at Tosa. And oh my word! And now he's gone around because he's got dirty tyres. And I must admit, the rejoin wasn't the best. Straight back onto the racing line at Tosa. Meanwhile, back at the front, it is Sydney who wins the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix in the house. It's a great drive from him, and that will put him to the top of the standings. I'm not quite sure what's happening to Beyond the Bow, but this rain is causing all sorts of issues. This has made the track really greasy. And lots of people have had issues by the looks of it in terms of penalties, but Beyond the Boa is going to finish second. A good drive from him. Paul Racetech, fantastic. I mean, the game's going to give drive of the day to Sydney, but he also deserves it as well. That's a fantastic drive. 3rd place is his. Yella Geeson coming up to the line. It's going to be 4th place for him.
Oh, can Owen get it going? It's just...
Milo de Boer, he's going to finish in 5th. Owen does get 5th eventually, with Milo 6th, Sunboy 7th, Ivan in 8th. Stinos crosses the line in 9th. ARL, I think he's had an issue. He's down in 10th, and he's going to stay in 10th. Ruddo is going to be 11th. Shortbread is 12th to round out our points finishers. He'll also potentially get fast slap, I think, as well. Kent will pick up 13th. People already finished Typhoon, Nitro, Ginger Tiger.
Kent to gracefully go across the line there.
Matty coming home for 14th. That rain at the end just suddenly caused all sorts of issues.
Absolute mayhem, to be fair, at the end. But no. Obviously, it's like one retirement though through the whole of that debacle. That's fair play to all the drivers that took part. To be fair, but no, obviously a solid drive by Sydney there. Just nowhere to go, unfortunately. But no, I one thing I will say, my driver of the day, it's got to be Paul. What do you reckon?
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, Sydney 18th to the lead. I mean, that is driver of the day sort of material. I mean, I do agree Paul would deserve it as well for his drive. Something's gone very wrong with the results because oh no, that's the sprint. That's why. I was wondering why that was a bit weird. I'm just taking pictures of the wrong thing. But yeah, Sydney, Beyond Barrett, Paul Racetech, your podium runners. Yellow Geeson, Owen, Mida Barrett, Sunboy, Ivan, Stinos, ARL, Ruddo, Shortbread with Fast Lap, Kent, Matty, Typhoon, Nitro, Ginger. The only retirement tonight, TTG Nathan 66.
No, I suppose what a really good way to finish off obviously our first sprint race. Or obviously tomorrow, tier 2. So obviously if anyone wants to watch me potentially crash out, feel free. But yeah, what a race.
Yeah, absolutely. And ARL saying he had to lift and coast the last 10 laps. Apparently the fuel just burned insanely fast. Although he does say he needs to sort it out for future races. He's don't think he's enjoying this the last couple of races. He knows he's faster than what he is showing at the moment, and we know ARL's faster. But it's just getting it all together on the day. But obviously that's the end of the racing in terms of that side. Looking forward to next week, Mikey. Round number 4. I'm going to guess Jack will be in commentary for that one from going forward.
From what we know.
Jack will be back after his holidays. But we head to the Principality, the streets of Monaco. Now, if you thought Imola was a bit chaotic, that's going to be very interesting.
But yeah, it's just obviously normal conditions again for of normal race. So, and then yeah, it's just what a race. So.
Yeah, it's the ultimate 100% safety car circuit. I would just say, Beyond a Bar apparently had a puncture at the end of that race. Hence, he was acting a little bit weird. He didn't mean to pit for mediums, but the gang didn't like him and didn't give him the hearts. But yeah, it's
you fooled us.
next week, obviously, Monaco is going to be a difficult race, one where sort of survival instincts have to come in. But before we head to the Principality, we have one more sprint evening this week round the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix at Imola, and that is for Tier 2. They're going to jump into this, and they're going to hope for a little bit less in terms of the variable weather that we've had tonight. Difficult conditions for all the drivers, but Tier 2, we'll see what they get tomorrow. Obviously, myself and ARL commentating on that one tomorrow for you, so it's going to be a good evening, and another good evening of racing for IRL. But Mike, any sort of last sort of comments before we head off for the night?
No, obviously just thanks for watching. Hope you found that eventful, because I'm sure you'll agree we did. So obviously same time again tomorrow for Tier 2 round Imola.
Absolutely. Well, for everyone watching, thank you all for watching tonight. Hopefully you've enjoyed the racing action, and you'll enjoy more tomorrow for Tier 2. If you did enjoy the stream, please do give it a like and subscribe to the Invictus Racing League channel. Make sure you've got the notifications active so you are made aware of when all of the racing happening this season. Obviously, every race is live streamed and commentated on this season, which is a fantastic thing to have. Yeah, it's going to be a sensational season. We're only 3 rounds in and we've seen so much action already. It's going to continue all the way through this season. But for myself and Mikey, thank you all for watching tonight. Hope you have a good rest of the evening, and myself and ARL look forward to seeing you tomorrow for Tier 2 Sprint Evening at Imola for round number 3. But for now, good night.